my britches, you can wear my shoes. I salute. Life is breached by the impulsive movements of law. Pray my people left back in my homeland well off. Get that paper, curve the haters, my main plans to golf. Proverbs tell a man, don't be slowful at what he's worth. Use the word as my shield, nine ready but not caught. Well, I'm better in my face, still good on every block. Especially with them OGs running the barbershops. Back in the day, me and my crew, we ran middle G8. 808s booming back of my trunk. Red Taurus, hear the thump as I roll through the hood.
Alright, y'all. So this is Soulgood Talkin. This is Tony Richard. This is Kendrick Fudge. And I'm Ronald Parker. And we are here with the Khalilah Akbar. Right? Yay. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so
for
much.
Having me.
Yes, you look wonderful
Thank you.
as usual, because I see you in the gym.
Thank you.
But so we're gonna get started. Look, give us a little background on yourself.
Okay. Khalilah.
Mm-hmm.
You put a little Khalilah.
Khalilah.
Khalilah. But I understand, people have been butchering my name all my life. Yes.
Gotcha.
I am 30 years old.
Okay.
You didn't get that in the background. 30 years old. I am from Buffalo, New York. So west side of the state, not like the Bronx, the city, but I'm more on the upstate, vineyards and apple trees and lakes and stuff like that.
Cool.
So Buffalo, New York, I've been here for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into personal training, fitness, body works, all of that cool stuff, and I absolutely love what I do.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you categorize yourself as an influencer?
I didn't like to used to. Influencers have been out for a while. Mm-hmm. I never wanted to be an influencer. Anything on my social media presence, I didn't want it to be like, okay, Khalilah did this, so I need to do this. I never, ever, ever tell my clients they have to do anything that I do.
Wow.
It's really about finding your own way and finding what works for you and what's sustainable. So I always tell myself to build off of sustainability. What you do ain't gonna work for him, ain't gonna work for him. It don't matter if y'all have the same job, if you're the same age, it don't matter. I gravitate to more of a coach in my later years. So not an influencer, but more of a coach.
Okay. But people will recognize you as an influencer because you got over 25K in Instagram.
Little micro influencer.
Right.
But like I said, it's as you get older or get more into the social media game, I think a lot of things start to change if you're doing it the correct way. So I'm in a space where I really don't care about I don't care how many followers I have. Right. I don't try to fish for more. I don't care if my number goes up or down. It's really just about helping the community overall.
It's good stuff. Yeah. That is good stuff. It's humility. Right.
Yeah. It takes some time to get there, and I feel like everybody goes through phases. And I usually have a couple times a year. I have women in my inbox like, "Hey, how do you do this? How did you grow your following? How did you do this? How you?" You gotta be patient, and you're going through the motions. I was there 2 years ago. I remember, looking at other influencers and being like, I wanted to do that, or making the list of, okay, I aspire to be boom, 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 boom. Let me see what they're doing. And 3 years ago, when they are where I am now, they was doing this. So let me do this and let me follow their path. Mm-hmm. You just gotta figure out what works for you. Yeah. Be true to yourself. Okay. Everything else comes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I really like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Individuality.
Yeah.
Now, do you get the majority of your clients from social media?
Either social media or word of mouth. Yes. So I was in Macon first. I moved to Warner Robins to work at Max Fitness. Okay. I worked there for 2 years. And in those 2 years, I very quickly became top trainer. I had over 50 clients. I taught this class called Push they had. Kind of similar to like an Orange Theory situation. You got like the weights and the cardio machines and everything in there. So a lot of my clients that I do have now either knew me from that gym or kind of have seen how I've helped other people. So a lot of my new clients are what I call B-backs. So they worked with me at Max Fitness for a little bit, and now they're back with me on my own situation.
So top trainer, what makes you go out on your own?
I'm a boss.
Okay.
I'm a boss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is probably my third business.
Okay.
And I love the flexibility of entrepreneurship and being able to do what I want to do,
Absolutely.
how I want to do it. I run my own show. I can take time off when I need to. I make more money. Clients are happier. It's a win-win everywhere. So. Sweet.
So you're not necessarily. So this is your Batman is your main job right now.
Yes. I still like to say I'm very new to the industry.
Okay.
So much so that I'm still willing to take whatever type of approach in this industry. Like I will, if given the opportunity, I'll work with elderly. I'll teach kids. You know what I mean? Just to get exposure into everything the industry has to offer and kind of figure out really what my end goal is in that. So.
That sounds great. I mean, it sounds like you're in a place where you can help people find their own way.
Yeah. And like I said, I love the industry so much that I'll do what I can to help. So I'm very grateful to have found my passion and found my gift, and to be able to share it with other people. It's very rewarding.
That's awesome.
Yes,
so
very rewarding.
When did you realize that was your gift and passion?
So we have to go all the way back to high school.
Let's go back.
Maybe my sophomore year, we had to take an internship. Like a 3-day internship anywhere to kind of figure out what you want to do and figure out where you want to go to college, this, that, and the third. So I took an internship at a grocery store called Wegmans. Wegmans are up north. They're amazing. I love Wegmans. Wegmans has a sub bar in there, a pizza bar in there, a coffee bar, a sushi bar. They got a hot foods bar. They got a cold foods bar. Like everything you can imagine. Whole Foods. They got a daycare inside the Wegmans. How people love Buc-ee's. That's how people love Wegmans. So Wegmans is like top notch. But I took a internship, just something they had available in a bakery. So I did 3 days in a bakery. After those 3 days, I think I was like 15. They were like, I know you don't turn 16 for a couple more months, but we're going to get you in here early. Like, we need you in here. I was like, okay. And ended up falling in love with kind of the pastry world, things of that nature. So fast forward to senior year, I ran track since probably the 7th grade.
Okay.
And fast forward to senior year, you can go to this very prestigious culinary school, get this culinary degree, kind of move forward with baking and pastry. However, they don't have any type of athletics whatsoever. Or you have so many more options. You've gotten D1, 2, and 3 scholarships for all of these schools. But none of them are going to have the culinary degree that you really, really want to do. So it was that big fork, and it was like that real turning point as a child, like 18 years old, like, what am I going to do? Right. So I ended up going to culinary school. I went to culinary school.
Okay, so Paul.
I went from
I'm baking. So my thing is like anybody in your family. So I'm wondering, okay, now you have this 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old has to make this decision. What did your family or parents or whatever, what did they try to steer you, or which direction was it at that point?
So it was always me and mom.
Okay.
Me and mom. And mom just wanted me to be happy. I was first kid to go to college. Okay. I'm the oldest of 5, so I'm setting the example for everybody else. Okay. And I had like a couple of coaches kind of come out to meets and tell me this and try to, steer me this way, but it never felt genuine to me. And it was like, Khalilah, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And the school was prestigious. They had brand new, facilities. Like we were the first class to have these brand new facilities. The school I went to was called Johnson & Wales. Okay. They have 4 campuses. I went to the one in Providence. That's like the best one. You have celebrity chefs coming out there all the time. So it was really, really hard to turn down Johnson & Wales. So I mean, at the time, that was I definitely don't regret all of that. I met like my best friend there, really cool people. I used that degree for 10 years.
Okay.
So I definitely got everything I wanted out of that, life path.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you used that degree for 10 years.
I did use that
So what
degree
were
for 10
you
years.
doing?
So started at Wegmans. Once I went to college, I transferred to a Wegmans out there. So I was with Wegmans for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Head baker. What
I did an internship through them. They do a lot with helping young kids. I got to do like this traveling thing with them where I went to different places and helped open new stores. I worked in the prepared foods area over there. I think I had to do a little bit of everything. So I was in pizza at one time. I was in coffee at one time. I did a little bit of everything. I ended up on the front end for a little bit as like my first management position. And really their interns were to help you kind of open your own store. So hopefully like interns that went through them were going to have their own store one day.
Right.
But after that, just kind of going through that, like I said, I was there for about 6 or 7 years. I was like, let me try this entrepreneurship a little bit. So probably around 21, I opened my first LLC. It was called Khalilah's Confections.
Okay.
And it was basically like making birthday cakes for people, wedding cakes. I used to go out to farmers markets with cake slices and things like that. You had to get something called a cottage food license in order to make these type of desserts from your house to be able to sell to the public. All of your packaging needed to have labels on it, so I had to like learn all of that and ounces and like all that cool stuff.
So wait a minute, you doing all this baking around all this food?
Yeah.
Are you still working out at this point? Or are you?
Right.
So
that work?
Around 20-ish, I was pregnant with my first son.
Okay.
And I worked out throughout that whole entire pregnancy. Mostly home workouts, but a lot of running. So I had that track background. I was running.
Still
like,
running.
The big belly, running miles. Running miles.
Oh,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, running miles. So I've always known to have that balance of, I can have sweets, but I'm not going to eat cake 5 days a week just because I make cake 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So different. Somebody who can make cakes and look like this at the same time. Oh, man. Come on. Come on.
So.
It's impressive.
It really is. It really is.
That was, you took the question right out of my mouth, is how did fitness fit in
and
with
baking.
all of that?
Okay,
Not
so
just cooking.
after graduating, I thought that I was going to be closer to Atlanta because Atlanta was a pastry hub at the time. You want to be in New York, you want to be in Atlanta if you want to do pastry. My dream was to like work at the Biltmore and make those small plates with the very fancy. Hey, this is 2 bites, but it's $45. One of those. That was my dream. So upon like being like, all right, we're gonna move to Georgia, this, that, and the third. Ended up connecting with a realtor who found a house in Macon, and I just ended up loving the house and kind of just boom, ended up in Middle Georgia. Awesome. So from there, I worked at FPD for a little bit. It's
school.
a private school.
Okay.
I was a sous chef there.
Okay.
So I worked under the executive chef and kind of had my own team running things. So that was more on like the culinary side of things. Little restaurants here and there, doing stuff like that. But once I left FPD, I opened up a bakery.
Really?
On Houston Avenue. What? I had a bakery on Houston Avenue. It was called Khalilah's Kitchen.
I remember seeing that.
You remember seeing that?
That was me. I remember seeing
What year was that?
That was like 2017. 2017.
Sounds about right.
Khalilah's
It was
Kitchen.
closer to the
It was on the corner of Houston and Newman. Right on the corner.
Newman, okay.
It's still there. It's still there, and it's still pink because I made the whole top trim pink. I had a local guy come in and paint my mural for me. Khalilah's Kitchen. Yes.
Houston Avenue, Houston Road.
Houston Avenue.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right.
I'd always lived off of like Forest Hill area.
Okay.
And found this place. Rent was like $600. Like, man, I could do that. Like
Right.
$600. It's on a corner too.
Right.
I didn't know what that side of town was bringing.
That's what I was
I
wondering.
didn't
Man,
know.
I seen it, but I was like, okay.
I didn't know what that side of town was bringing. So, that year, I signed a lease in January, I think of 2018.
Mhm.
That February, I found out I was pregnant with my third son. As I was saying,
Mhm.
I had my third son. I was pregnant with my third son. So like I said, I signed a lease in January.
Mhm.
Found out I was pregnant in February. I already had 2 kids. So that year was like, how am I going to make this bakery work?
Right.
People are coming up to me. I had a radio ad. I had a Groupon. I was on DoorDash, all these things. It was to the point where I wanted it to be a bakery, but people kept coming up to the window wanting food. You got food? You got food? No, it's a bakery. Oh, I want a food. I want this, that, and the third. So ended up putting together a scratch lunch menu. So I did a homemade burger. I did a grilled salmon. I did a homemade tuna macaroni salad. I did a pasta salad. All these things.
A scratch.
That's
Lunch
scratch.
Scratch. It was scratch.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
know the baked goods was scratch.
Mhm.
I couldn't just buy the burger. Burger had to be scratched. So
I'm talking about she cooks
Making
her
patties.
own food
Right.
and work and train.
Yes.
So she
Train.
can feed you.
Raising kids
What?
You know
and
what?
bacon.
So
Yeah.
I can only imagine your meal prep game is off the chain.
I'm talking about off the chain.
Matter of fact, for
Phenomenal.
the sake of time, like, how does that work now? You're baking. You say, okay, I don't want to bake no more, and then you just go straight to.
So that year with all that going on, it was not a good fit for my family.
Okay.
Plus, once I started going out with meals, people weren't coming to me, so I'm going out with meals with a hot food bag. Oh yeah, I heard about your bakery. I heard this and that and third. I ain't going to House and Half. I was like, what?
Location.
Nah, you're
Yeah,
fine.
the location
Okay.
hurt the business. So I thought it was, it was on a corner. It was at a light. The rent is cheap. I can do a
Location.
lot. I can do a lot with this, but
Right.
it was right down the street from Pendleton Homes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So-
in Bill County, so
Yeah,
so-
especially on the
yeah.
west
There's
side.
some cool people there. Like,
Yes.
no bad, but
Right.
just certain
Yeah.
people make the area not so.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I wasn't aware.
Business
That was a
oriented.
lesson learned. Plus, how my family was going, it wasn't a good fit for the family at the time.
Gotcha.
I had hired some people, and they wasn't great, and all of that. So I just had to completely let that go. Just
Okay.
like boom, and people are hitting me up like, "Hey, I seen you ain't doing this. What's going on? You quit the business, da 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 da," and all of that on your mental to know like, "Hey, I'm making this business. I'm closing this business for my family, and now." People from back home are like, "Hey, what's going on? Is your business failing? Are you failing? Are you failing?"
Right.
So I just had to kind of get in my own bag and be like, "Listen, you can't let that deter you from this, that, and the third just because you're making different
Right.
changes. Doing this doesn't mean you're a failure. At the end of the day, I made these changes for my family, and it's going to
Absolutely.
work for us. So all that yip yap you got to throw. So
So I understand the
I
positive
quit.
piece of it.
I
right
quit
there.
baking.
So right there,
baking.
that piece right there. Was it, even though you made that decision, it sounded like you made it from a very mature level.
Yeah.
Was it like some nights you just was like, Lord, how am I going to do it? Or, what am I going to do? Or you had a plan?
I knew all year, once I got pregnant, I knew all year that it wasn't going to be as long as I wanted it to be. Because if it was just me, or maybe if I had one kid, I'd be sleeping in the bakery to get up in the morning to, putting in all the hours
Gotcha.
to make this work.
Okay.
But
so you already
it
was
wasn't,
work.
yeah. So I'd
Okay.
already knew like
Planned
that
your
year.
miles to
I was like,
That's
dang, this is going to be crazy.
Okay.
So I'd already knew that it wasn't going to be as long lived as I wanted it to.
Okay, so you had already started prepping.
Yeah,
It wasn't just like,
so-
oh man, I got to shut down today, and what am I going to do? Okay.
Yeah, so after that, I went personal training. It was always on my bucket list to get back into athletics.
Okay.
So that's the only things that I do, either food or athletics.
Got it.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Food athletics.
Yeah, food athletics.
Awesome. So, back to the training part. Do you just train women?
No, I do have more women clients. It took a while for me to learn what my niche was.
Gotcha.
And knowing what your niche is and what you want your niche to be are two different things.
Okay, help me out.
So
You find mine too.
right.
For real.
I mean, my niche is probably weight loss clients.
Okay.
But I truly want my niche to be like more postpartum clients or strength training clients. But more than likely, I get weight loss clients, women that want to lose weight, beginners that come to me saying, I want to lose weight and I want to tone up. And I say, okay.
I got you.
I want to lose weight. I want to tone up. But that's usually not the mindset that they leave in. So tone up is, I want to see my muscles, but I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to get bulky. You look good, but I don't want pig muscles. And I go, okay. So when they come to me like that, I know that we have a lot of mindset training to do in order to get to where we need to be. And I think that's what makes me a good trainer.
Gotcha.
Overall.
Good stuff.
Yeah, because I see you in the gym now. She be training folks.
A little something.
She be focused on
What?
I
She
do a
be
little
focused.
something.
I was in the gym and I was like, I'm feeling doing pretty good. I can go over there. No.
Absolutely not.
No. She's working. She's working. She's focused on her clients
Yes.
and taking care of them. So yeah,
So
much respect though out of that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for real.
Thank you. I love what I do.
So you train at the gym at home. How do you?
So my main business is at home. I built a studio out of my garage,
Okay.
which is in Warner Robins. And then if I have Macon clients, then I train them at that Planet Fitness.
Got it.
Yes. So I have more clients at home,
Okay.
but trying to build that clientele here at Planet Fitness.
Got it. At some point, do you think you'll get your own gym?
So I don't anticipate staying here, which is why I haven't. Which is why I haven't pursued that yet.
Okay.
I could have pursued that. I could have been pursued that. But I don't. After 10 years, I still don't feel like this is home.
Okay.
So I would rather just keep my little small thing. And people are like, why don't you do this and that? So.
Okay. So now we got the transition to personal training. Let's get a little meaty with it. So you have kids, right? Now we have three boys. All right. You have a strict diet, right?
No.
Okay.
What?
So let's talk about the diet, because clearly you tone muscle, you work out, you have kids. How do you balance? How do you eat do you eat what you want to eat?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just portion?
Mostly.
Okay.
And moderation. Portion and moderation.
Portion moderation.
So
okay.
like I said, I pride myself in being a sustainability coach.
Okay.
So I don't make any of my clients diet. I don't make anyone diet.
I
I don't suggest that anyone diets, because
Okay.
if you've been addicted to Chick-fil-A for the last 10 years and you try to go cold turkey saying I'm not gonna have Chick-fil-A no more, you're gonna cave in like 2 weeks.
Really?
You know what I mean?
You
So
gonna go
how
back to
can
Chick-fil-A?
how can we keep Chick-fil-A in your diet but regulate it a little bit more?
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
know how to do that? Oh man,
So-
yeah.
It's
client.
simple. It's
New
simple.
client.
It's simple.
It's
Okay.
Something for you.
I understand.
Me?
It takes some time. It takes some diligence. How badly do you want it?
True.
All of that. You feel me? So if you've been eating Chick-fil-A for the last 10 years, you always get a number one. Okay, your number one is your
Or
fried
the
chicken
first trainer
sandwich.
that says,
Well, listen,
No
you
diet.
get a fried chicken sandwich, you get a large fry, you get a Coke. Okay. Let's try to definitely cut out the Cokes. Okay.
Okay.
Most of the time, you have a habit for something.
Okay.
If you're really bad on something, it's a habit. So we want to break the habits and make them more into moderation.
Okay.
It's not that I never drink soda. I might drink soda twice a month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I don't have a habit of drinking soda,
Okay.
so it's not going to affect me.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want the number one, let's maybe get the chicken sandwich because you really want the sandwich. You can put that with a fry and a salad and a water.
Okay.
Now you had your sandwich. If you
Okay.
really still want that fry, go back in like 2 days and get it. But now you can put that with the grilled nuggets
Okay.
in the water. So now I've changed and I manipulated how my calories look, and I can still eat a little bit of what I want.
That's why she has so
So
many
instead of
clients.
like your
Come on.
right, that's exactly why I have so many clients.
Yeah.
So it's pizza night. You want pizza, wings, beer. You want all of that. You feel me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Instead
yes.
of 4 pieces of pizza, get 2.
That
Okay.
sounds like
Get
Okay.
2. Fill the
I
rest
need
of your
to
plate
cut
with
back on my
veggies.
Okay.
Okay, and get a grilled meat or air fry your own chicken wings.
I
Okay.
like that.
Instead of ordering deep fried chicken
Fried
wings.
chicken wings.
Now I've manipulated how my calories look, and I
Wow.
still had pizza.
And I can get like a low
Still
cal
had
beer,
pizza. Yeah.
like a Michelob.
Or if it's your
Ultra
day for heavy beer, get your beer and you put it with something that's a little,
light.
a little better on your
When are you
calories.
gonna
Yeah.
reopen this kitchen?
Okay,
That's
what
all.
about so Briar's ice cream? I'm gonna throw that at you. So how would you manipulate that?
Okay, so instead of your 5 scoops that you usually get, Tony,
Okay.
you get your 2 scoops
2 scoops.
with some fruit.
Raisin bran it up. 2
Yeah,
scoops.
2 scoops with your fruit. And instead of doing that 5 days in a row, you only did it Monday and Thursday.
Oh, you do 2 days?
Oh
Oh, man. What?
So basically, you can cheat every
So
day.
you fitting in
A
some
little.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you want, how bad
Bad
you want it. If you want that 6-pack, we're gonna have to get pretty strict. You know what I mean?
All right. So that being the case, what I'm gonna do with my Chick-fil-A? Throw the bread away. I can still have my patty.
Maybe the grill patty.
Grill,
The grill
not
patty.
fried.
No fried.
Yeah.
There's a will,
Yeah.
there's a way.
Mhm.
Okay. White rice, quinoa, brown rice. What's the most? What's
So here's the deal with carbs.
You better kill me.
Put
Nope.
us on.
Your body wants carbs as its main source of fuel.
Correct.
Right.
So keep your carbs.
Huh?
Keep the car.
Keep your carbs. Your body wants carbs as its main source
Best
of
train
fuel.
I ever heard.
She said
Best.
keep your
Say
carbs.
keep the carbs.
But moderate
Yes.
your carbs.
Okay.
Okay? So if you go out to Olive Garden, you get your spaghetti dinner that looks this big, takes up your whole plate.
Correct.
That's too much of a simple carb.
So
Okay? So maybe make your portion like this.
okay. Take the
With
rest
my
home
salad and my grilled meat.
and your piece of bread.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
balance.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Just balance
Yeah,
it,
moderation.
yeah.
But if I have a simple carb that night, I'm probably not going to wake up and have more bread and more rice and more pasta all day tomorrow.
Got it.
You feel me? I'm going to moderate my choices.
So I can have my sweet tea, but just split it in half, like half and half tea or something.
Yeah,
Right?
a
So I
little
still
water, a
taste
little less sugar.
Yeah. And
Moderation.
And drink more water throughout
Absolutely.
the day.
Absolutely.
See, that's what I was saying
Absolutely.
last show.
Yeah.
So I
That's
was
what you
saying
were saying.
that. I was like, man, I do my cheat day and then I work out hard.
So try
you know?
like a cheat entree. Instead of a cheat day, your cheat day has 3 meals
Well,
of
that-
cheat.
You did say that.
Clean, maybe
Cheat.
just the entree. Not to say you can never have the whole cheat meal.
But
But
just
if you're-
manipulated.
Yeah,
Well,
just work it in.
it definitely works for you.
It definitely does.
I have a question, real quick. Just like, are your kids into fitness, or your boys? Do they train? Do they work out?
They
do they
do.
run?
They understand the importance of the balance of it all. You know what I mean? They
That's
definitely
great.
understand the
Well, I'm
balance.
sure seeing you
Yes.
do what you do, and you cook mostly at home for them, or y'all go out a lot.
We have pizza nights here and there. So my thing is pizza. I'm a pizza head. I'm always
Yeah,
gonna bring up
I have
pizza.
too. I'm a
Yeah, I'm
pizza
always gonna
head
bring
too.
up
Do
pizza.
you make it?
Not generally.
Okay.
Not generally. I gotta order
Really?
it. I gotta order it. So it's the balance.
Really?
It's the balance.
That's
Yeah.
right. You
It's the
drink
balance.
mostly water. Do you still have your soda? every now and then?
Hardly ever soda. Definitely always water.
Tea.
The more water you drink, fun fact, the more weight you will lose. That's why.
Really?
I
Have
agree
you ever
with
seen
that.
the men with like the gallons?
Yeah,
Like
right,
the
right.
gallons. So
Are you flushing?
yes, a gallon is generally recommended
Keeping your stomach tight.
as you get something that's not water.
I'm still learning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still growing.
with
Still-
him.
we're still-
Forgive me, but I'm
Knowledge.
growing. I'm learning.
Right.
I'm a
right,
sponge.
Right.
But
But
no, this
what
is good
water
stuff.
what water does to your body is it flushes your fat cells.
Okay.
So it kind of fills them up, and then once you get a good night's sleep, your sleep is also recommended. Your 7 to 8 hours, then your fat cells
Now, I'll
shrink.
be honest. I rarely ever get 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
That will also, your body recovers in your
That's
sleep.
kind of
Your
common. Yeah.
body recovers in your sleep.
How can I get? I'm an entrepreneur too, so I'm always on the go. Mine is always on the go. 7 to 8 hours. How?
Create the time. Do you create time to brush your teeth every day?
we just.
Do you create the time to brush your teeth every day?
Yes.
Yes, even if you're running late, don't you gotta brush your teeth?
Confirmation, Tony.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
You
You gotta
supposed
create
to
the
write
time.
your script while you were walking around the track, Ron. That was
And
last
write the
episode.
song.
You didn't write the song.
Writing the song.
Have you started, Ron?
I did do that.
Okay.
I did do that. But that's different.
Man, no,
Is it
everybody got the same 24 hours. No excuse.
That's
Yeah.
right. You're
You
right.
think
That's
you
what we
busier
said.
than Elon Musk?
Create
That's
the
right. We
time.
said.
Jay-Z, I'm just saying.
So I'm interested in knowing, are you gonna write a book or have you already written a book?
Oh, you don't want to tell nobody.
No,
The smile
I
gives us away.
haven't. I
just
haven't
kinda
written a
seems
book.
like that might be something
I mean,
that is
really?
that your path in life.
If I had a
might be
marketing
getting to.
team for show, I would write a book. So I've been asked to write a parenting book.
Okay.
Respectfully, like I've been asked to write a parenting book. Like all my kids slept through the night within 2 months. How did you do that? I just did it. Like everyone's on a schedule. You know, my kids was knowing sign language and all that to communicate before they could talk. How'd you do that?
So I see the fit baker. The fit baker. They're working out with.
You have a way with slogans.
He
I
does.
do. The fit baker. We're working out and cooking with Khalilah.
Yeah.
Khalilah
To
But
be
wow.
honest, though, I don't really bake that much anymore.
You still know how.
But you got it though.
I am gonna bake today.
You gotta
I
know
told myself I'm
something.
gonna bake today. Probably
You gonna bake
cheesecake.
today?
Yeah,
Probably
I'll be there.
cheesecake.
Yeah, just
And my kids' birthdays, they get their own cakes.
So I think you
That
got to bake something, and give us an opportunity to taste what you bake.
I think we.
Well, no.
That would be great.
I didn't see
I
it.
mean, she
Right.
got the bag. She said she went in her bag. She
Went
about
in
to
her
go
bag, yeah, be like, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Khalilah, you know what? Let me put a little twist on this really quick. So, it is big now. A lot of women are getting these BBLs. How important is it for them to continue to work out? Because a lot of people figure they'll go ahead and get the BBL. It's going to take fat from other areas, right? And put in the rear area, and that's it. Set it and forget it. That's not the case, is it? Because that fat coming back, right? If you're not.
Yeah. So when people come to me, like I said, we have to usually train mindsets. I think anyone can be a trainer.
Okay.
I think anyone can give a workout.
Correct.
Even if you're not certified, you can give a workout.
Right.
But it's the other things that come with a trainer to make a good trainer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we work a lot on mindset and
Okay.
finding that sustainability and finding, you don't have to go 0 to 100. You can have that balance, and I can go out with my friends, things like that. So one of those things that people don't like to hear is that you can't spot train fat. So when people come, they go, I like my legs, I like everything on my legs, but I just want to lose the weight from my stomach.
That's
I gotta say okay that first day that we get started, and then
Me either.
Yeah.
and then we gotta put it in your mindset. You can't spot train fat. So
Right.
if you only want the fat gone from your stomach, you gotta go see Dr. Miami. You know what I mean? That being said, if you don't keep up with your diet, and it's mostly your diet,
Right.
if you had to choose one or the other to meet your goals, it's always diet.
Right.
Yeah.
Training is gonna help. The combination of both is gonna help.
Right.
But people who have a better diet that don't exercise, they can still lose the weight
Got it.
because they're manipulating how they eat their food.
Gotcha.
Now I found that
Mindset thing.
for myself, cardio helps me even with my diet.
Okay.
When I get up early, and then I make notes of it, but I get up early in the morning and I do about at least average 4 or 5 miles, right? When I come back, I'm not hungry. I'm just thirsty throughout most of the day, so I don't eat most of the day.
So a lot of times your first signs of your workout plan working for you is you're sleeping better. You have a better mood. You naturally don't want that soda anymore that you used to have with lunch. So a lot of those things are happening when you sweat, you're feeling better, you have more energy. All those things are naturally happening from you after that run.
Doing something right.
I'm doing something. Right?
Doing it, brother.
Matter of fact, I
Yes.
lost 13 pounds.
Okay.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I see.
Yes, you did.
Bro.
Yes, you
I
did.
see.
Appreciate it.
I
Man,
see.
this is all really, really good stuff. I have a question. Now, this is kind of taking another twist on things. How has your fitness and where you are now in life, how's it affected your love life?
I have boundaries. I have
Are you single?
aspirations. I'm not single. I'm in a very new relationship. It's going very well.
Okay.
But I definitely know what I want, and I need someone who, they don't have to be perfect, but you need to be active.
Okay.
Zumba, yoga, swimming.
Something.
We gotta do something.
To
And mostly because it's a mindset thing.
Right.
It's not
Like
necessarily
getting
about
yoga.
how your body
Gotcha,
looks.
yeah.
It's about how you feel and your outlet. You have a bad day, you're not just gonna, be nasty on the couch all day.
Right.
Go work out. Go do
Yeah.
something. Go get that off you. So
Yeah.
truthfully, that's really what it's
Cool.
about.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Whoever he
So-
is, hang on to it.
Right. So now, is it your preference for you, because you've been working out for so long, to have somebody that is fit, or you don't so much look at that
It's
part of it?
definitely a preference.
It's a
It's for
preference, but-
surely a preference. We need to. It's a lifestyle. So
Right.
if I'm eating clean and I'm exercising and you're not on that same
Same.
wavelength, then that's going to be
So, yeah,
hard
it's
for us to mesh.
compatibility.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hard for
Okay.
us to mesh.
Cool.
That
Cool.
makes
It's
sense.
compatible. Yeah,
Okay.
that makes perfect sense.
That does.
Makes perfect sense.
Cool.
So
Good
what's
stuff.
up?
So I know you say you don't want to be an influencer,
So
but
coach.
look at what you do and who you are. I didn't even know you did all that. And I did some research on you. I didn't even know you did all that. You are definitely an influencer.
I am.
You're definitely a
I am.
positive
I am.
influencer.
Yeah.
And I definitely hope that all the women that watch this really look at your life and really be like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it.
Right. And like,
Absolutely.
you have those forks in the road, like you say, or
Right.
whatever, because for the most part, have you been a single mom doing this?
I was married. I got divorced the end of last year.
Okay.
Okay.
But also that was a turning point as to finding my boundaries
Okay.
and relearning myself. And now I get summers off, and I've never had summers off.
Okay.
Or I'm always with my kids, so
Right.
that's a time for me to figure out what I want to do and to take more trips and to do all these things that I've never
Okay.
been able to do.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really
So
really
you
different.
pulled some positive, a lot of
Positive.
positive.
I pulled a
out of it,
lot of
course.
positive
Yeah.
out of it.
And
I
Wow.
pulled a ton of positive out of it.
and it's
That
Yeah.
is.
and it's
That
cool
is.
because it's a lot of people saying, "Well, I can't do a lot because I have my kids,"
Mhm.
but
Uh-huh.
you don't use that as an excuse.
I try not to.
That's the driving motivation for what you do.
It is.
Those
Right.
6 eyeballs looking at you, right?
The true key that most people don't want to do or they don't know that they can do is making more time for yourself.
Mm.
I cannot be my best version of myself. I can't be a good mother. Why are you laughing? I can't be any
This
of
is good
that
stuff. That's all. This is
if
good
I don't make time for
Time
myself.
yourself, right? And it's not being
Yes.
selfish; it's being selfless.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you don't get that until you're a little open.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
You're a little open. You gotta be willing to
I'm
to
telling
be
you,
there.
What I've learned thus far is just like it's really a mindset thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
all
think
mindset.
Everything is
It's all mindset.
Everything
Yeah.
is a mindset thing.
Absolutely.
It starts there.
Man, this has been a great interview, whatever we want to call this thing
Yeah.
today. But I learned a whole lot from you today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not
Love
just about your background and where you come from, but it made me feel a little bit more powerful and confident about what
Thank
I can do
you.
moving forward
Right.
from
Yeah.
today.
You can still
You got
want what I
this.
want.
You got this.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not, I'm not so much of a man and too macho to say that I can't learn
Learn
from
something.
a
Yeah.
woman. And what you have, brought to the table for us today has really, uplifted myself and given us a different dynamic to go on.
Absolutely.
And I want to just say I appreciate you for coming on to the
Thank
show.
you.
Definitely
Thank
thank
you.
you for that.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else you want to share?
Like you said, it's all in the mindset. You know what I mean?
Mindset.
Doesn't mean that you're not gonna have bad days, but knowing that day is gonna come to an end, knowing and being grateful.
Right.
I live every day very grateful. Even if it's a raining day, hey, my flower's gonna grow. You know what I mean? So just really being grateful for the little things or things that you're not thinking about all the time is key to
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
everything.
How can people contact you?
I am very avid on Instagram. Email trainlikeroyalty ronaldparker@gmail.com.
Okay.
I'm always answering there. A little bit on Facebook. You know, Train Like Royalty is my business. We didn't really talk about that much, but
Right.
that's my brand, Train Like Royalty. And creating the time is really big for me as well. So Googling either one of those, I should pop up somewhere at the top.
So hopefully the next podcast we do with her, we could do it with her training or like in her element, like
Absolutely.
working out. So yeah, would you? Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
love to have
I
you.
love
That
it.
would be awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, we'd like to come down and
I'll
set up.
show some abs off next time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll show some
okay.
abs off next time.
I mean, I
That'd be
actually.
awesome.
You can have some abs too.
Come on now.
You can have some abs
You
too.
gotta have some abs.
We gonna all come in with like
Abs.
Yeah.
tops.
ABBS.
Yes.
Absolutely. Right. There you
Right.
go. There
I
you
grew
go.
up
That's
in
the one.
Robin, so I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with that area down there. I think you made a difference in the city, and you made a difference and impact, even though the location wasn't quite the best location, but at the same time, I mean, you branded your name in a foreign place, and I think that's great. I mean, I think that's great. You have a lot to be proud of.
Thank you. Don't make me cry.
She's got a lot.
Yeah,
She got a lot to
Thank you.
offer
Thank
as well
you.
as well. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I really
I
am.
learned so much from you.
So
And,
ambitious.
We
Thank
just
you.
been blessed. I didn't know you was an entrepreneur and all that good stuff, but I love it. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm glad to
Thank
see
you.
that you're real, and you know,
Right.
because we found you on IG
On
with,
IG,
with
yeah.
such a large profile,
Yeah.
which is
Right.
like, wow,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Is she real?
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'll
You
say
know.
this real quick. Like again, I seen her in the gym
Yeah.
a few times, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go say something to her." And she was like, "In her." No, I'm like,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
In
Sure.
my element. In
Nah,
my
I'm-
element.
I'm like, I'm,
I'm in my
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I'll message her.
It's a little, I be a little intense in the gym, but
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm very
But it's good.
Yeah,
But
it
much
comes with the
respect to you and
territory.
all that stuff.
Last question: do you use a pre-workout or you just a natural high?
natural high. No pre-workout for me.
Golly.
No pre-workout for
That's
me.
excellent.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Well,
Well, this has been so good talking.
Good talk.
Again, I'm Ronald Parker.
Tony Richard.
I'm Kendrick Fudge, and this
And you
is-
gotta give us your name again.
Khalilah Akbar, Train Like
Khalilah
Royalty.
Akbar.
Train Like Royalty.
Absolutely.
Always.
Train like royalty.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Down, but why bother? You'd rather be deceived than live by God's mantra. My presence is just a tantra, just to see where your heart at. Truly, we all are flawed, but not allowed to pass the judgment. Yeah, now picture this.